Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans. 1973-76 Carryover League. We got another series today, the American League Midwest, a series between the Milwaukee Brewers and the Minnesota Twins. And these teams should have just been in the same division as they are. Now they're in different leagues. They were in different divisions back in the old American League 2 division alignment. But for Pete's sakes, I mean, come on. They're right next to each other, folks. Get this thing going. Brewers Twins. Okay, I'll get off the soapbox there. Brewers Twins, if you've been following this season, it's been a magical year for the Twins. It's been a same thing for the Brewers, winning more games than we thought they would win. So this is a surprising matchup of teams doing a battle to see who's in first place of the All-Star break, where we thought the White Sox or the Kansas City Royals would be. Let's get right into the series. Game 1. We open up in County Stadium in Milwaukee. And it is Jerry Garvin against Jim Slayton. The one weakness the Twins have are their left-handed pitchers are not particularly strong. They traded Jim Cott to the White Sox in the offseason. He was their best lefty, and they've completed their roster nicely otherwise. But the left-handed relievers, Jim Crawford, Vic Albury, and Garvin, are so-so at best. So this would be an opportunity for the Brewers to pounce. But before they could pounce, it's the Twins' offense that's been relentless all year. One of the best offenses in the American League. Carew single stolen base. Heisel RBI single stolen base. You get a Jim Holt double, Soderholm double, 3-zip. But the Brewers say, not so fast. Thomas walks, Scott singles. Then you have Ollie Brown single, Pat Kelly single, a triple for Yount, an RBI single for Charlie Moore. 5-3. And we're like, okay, I can see it now. These two teams are not going to back down from each other. Who is Cinderella? Give me that dress. No, it's mine. Battle of Cinderellas, and who's it going to be? Well, the Twins, they get a run in the second inning. It's 5-4. Another run in the third. It's 5-5. I guess it's the Twins. Or maybe not. In the eighth inning of a tie game, Vic Albury comes in, another lefty. Like I said, not as good as Garvin. Garvin leaves after 6 innings, 8 hits, and 5 runs. Ground ball to Carew, plays it into a single. He's a 2-second baseman. Then ground ball to Carew, 2-second baseman, plays it into a single. Remember, it's a 10% chance. And then, yep, this is unreal, folks. Ground ball to Carew, plays it into a single, 4 hits and 2 runs in the inning. Let's go over this consecutively. Ground ball, second X. Okay, let's do this together. It's a 10% shot. Then it's a 10% shot. Then a 10% chance. Why don't you plug that anomaly into your little calculator and get back to me. Let me know how often that happens, okay? Yeah, so it's the magical year of the Brewers out magicaling the Twins in Game 1 by a score of 7-5. Kevin Cobell gets a win in relief. Don McMahon, a resurgent closer for the Brewers, who had a terrible year season ago, gets the save. Brewers hold home field 7-5. Okay. Game number 2 in the Midwest. It is Bill Singer, acquired in the offseason to team up with Blyleven at the top of that Twin rotation, kind of to take Jim Cott's spot. And Jim Colburn. Now, this is a fun matchup because both these dudes pitched 315-16 innings, and they both won 20 games. Fun matchup. And guess what happens in the third inning, folks? Scoreless game. You get a Tony Oliva homer a single. It's a Rod Carew 2-run homer. It's 3-zip. So what did the Brewers do? Well, the same thing they did in game 1. Single, single, walk, double, single, single. 4-3. You get 3 runs, we get more than you. The Twins are like, 2 more runs in the 4th. Another 2-run homer for Oliva. RBI sac fly Jim Holt. Tackled another run in the 8th on a solo homer Phil Roof. They bring in Bill Campbell to convert a 5-out save, and they hold on by the skin of their teeth. 7-6 Twins over a game Milwaukee team, and yeah, the Cinderella sisters are fighting for that dress, folks. Who's overachieving more? I mean, it's hard to measure this. Let's go to Minnesota and see what happens next. All right, I think is it Griffith Stadium? I can't remember the name of I always forget the name of Minnesota's outdoor park. Anyway, Brewers in Game 3 will send lefty Bill Travers versus Burpee home Blyleven, and now Cinderella takes center stage, and she lives in the Twin Cities, folks. You have the lineup against lefties as Chico Cardenas batting second, where he's hitting. You ready for this, folks? He's hitting .469 this year. It's left-handed pitching. Your shortstop's hitting .469 batting second. You're going to do very, very well in Strat-O-Matic. Anyway, 2 runs in the 1st. You get a Steve Bry homer in the 2nd inning. You get single, single, double, single in the 3rd. Oh, by the way, in the 7th inning, Jim Holt, the starting first baseman, gets injured. So John Bacabella, who can catch and play first base, goes over to first base. So they got to take. Phil Roof had the day off. He has to come in and catch. What's he do? It's a 2-run home run. 9-2 thumping. Burt Blyleven left after 6 innings. He had something to do. He had the win in tow. Wasn't really interested in a complete game today. 9-2 victory for the Twins. Game 4. Yep, that's our story, folks. We're going to stick with it. Milwaukee has decided to do some ironing. Maybe clean some dishes. Clean up around the house. Straighten up for the big sister. Because Cinderella's got a date. It's in Minneapolis. Bottom of the 1st. 3-run dinger, Phil Roof. The roof is on fire. And then an RBI sac fly by Bostock in the 5th inning. This is off of Don Wilson, who pitched 7 innings, 8 hits, 4 runs. Dave Goltz, 6 innings of shutout ball, but they pulled him because he put some guys on base. They had a 4-run lead. They want to get the bullpen some work. Yeah, the cocky Twins, no longer Cinderella. They're the dominant team, folks. They win 4-zip. And now it looks like we actually have a dominant team in the American League. We've been waiting for somebody to grab the reins and kind of run away with us, run from the pack in the American League. Let's take a look. Here are the present standings in the Midwest. The Brewers actually fell behind the Chi Sox. So that's good news for the White Sox. That means they will probably battle the Twins in a vain attempt to catch them for the division, though. They're 2.5 back. Twins are 18-12, playing .600 ball. 6 over 500. They look like they're in a great position this year in the American League. They are a team that's hitting .300. Could I see them contending with some of these National League teams? Sure. I think it could be fun. We know the Orioles probably could do something like that. We could never count the Tigers out. The White Sox are supposed to do that. And the Expos are winning with a lot of question marks. So, yeah. Anyway, that's something to, I guess, discuss on another day. But it's all about the Twins today. Game 5 at home, trying to win this series 4-1. And if they can do that, they pretty much can keep the White Sox at bay, you'd think. That's too much ground for the Chi Sox to catch up in the postseason tournament for the title. And then the Twins would think about winning the division and then maybe getting a bye, a 1 or 2 seed. That's how greedy this Cinderella has gotten. Brewers Twins, Game 5, and we get the rematch of 630 innings of ball here. Jim Colburn, a 20-game winner, 3.18 ERA, 314 innings, against Bill Singer, a 20-game winner, 3.22 ERA, 316 innings. Speaking of sisters, Cinderella sisters. They're not Cinderella, folks. These dudes are legit. The cards aren't mirror images of each other. I would say if I was going to pick a card, I'd probably go Colburn. And it's the reason being is that if you put a lot of lefties on and you're right-handed, in this kind of configuration, that could be disaster for Singer. Colburn actually is better against lefties than righties by a slight bit, and I kind of like that for our starter eights. But of course, if the Twins are your opponent, it's not going to be good for Colburn, who gave up 7 runs last time he faced them. So there's that. The Red Hot Twins Brewers. We'll spin the F9 here, get the tumblers going, and get started from Minnesota. Leading off for the Brewers, it's Pat Kelly. 47 is a K. Daryl Thomas, 1-6. It's a walk. George Scott, 43. Left X. Out in left field, it's Heisel. It's a 2 in left field. Makes the catch with 2 outs. It's Darrell Porter. 2-6 is a K. Bottom of the first. Rod Carew, 44. Homer, 1-7 off of Colburn. It is going to be a single. He does not have power this particular year. Did have 6 home runs. He was in double digits the year prior, and I think in 77 when he hit 388. I think they gave him power that year as well. Should have. Double-A Steeler, he's taken off. Twins will be aggressive. He is going to be safe against the zero-arm catcher. Batting second, Larry Heisel with a runner in scoring position. 1-4, flies to left. Lyman Bostock, 310, flies to right. And Phil Roof, the roof's on fire, strikes out. Top 2. It's Johnny Briggs. 1-8 is a K. 6-0 Lescano, 47 is a K. And Steve Hovley, 1-3. 1-3, Homer 1-8, double the rest, and it is gone. Steve Hovley had one of his 2 home runs of 1973 just went out of the park. Tim Johnson, 67, is a base hit in that 6th column of Singers. Bavacqua, 68, walks in that column. 2 on 2 outs as Singer's getting sloppy here. Pat Kelly. 1-7, let's take a look at Pat Kelly's card. Pat Kelly, you remember him, he was a White Sox, he was a Royal. He later played for Baltimore. For some reason, the teams just let him go. And the Brewers, playing in the same division as the Kansas City and the White Sox, said, we'll take him. I don't know why you guys don't want him. Pat Kelly can hold down the fort until Ben Oglivie and Gorman Thomas and all those Brewer outfielders arrive in the late 70s at least. Nice little player. Hit 274 in 1975. 1-7 for Pat is double 1-9, single ... and the Brewers have a 2-0 lead with runners on the corners. It's Daryl Thomas. 65, Denton, the Singer column, triple 1-3, single ... And it's 3-0. George Scott. 48, flies to center field. Well, little sister, she's punching back today. 3-zip. Bottom of the second, it's Jim Holt. 1-6 short. Eric Soderholm, 2-7's a base hit. Tony Oliva, 66, pops to first. Bobby Darwin, 2-6, is a K. We go to the third. It's Darrell Porter, 64, off the Singer. Good result for him. Homer 1-3, fly ball. That's a sign of a quality pitcher, and you got Homer 1-0, fly ball arrest on the 4 roll, normally. John Briggs, 37, single 1-12, misses it on a 13. Lescano, 47, is a K. That's the shorthand of identifying a star pitcher. Bottom of the third, Dale Maxwell, 57 Ks. Rod Carew, 34, rolls back to the mound. And Heisel, 2-11, short. Probably the first game of the series for the Twins. Haven't got a crooked number in the first 3 frames. Into the fourth, it's Steve Hovley, 67, base hit. Here, Denton, the 6th column. Tim Johnson, 110, flies right. Kurt Bavacqua, 68, again, walks. 2 on, 1 out for Pat Kelly. 4-4, short X, and this is Maxwell, 2E20 at short. This is one of the areas the Twins went out in the offseason. They needed to improve shortstop. Dale Maxwell's on waivers. He goes on waivers every year. Literally, it's him and Fred Stanley and all the other, marginal shortstops hit like a $180, but have some glove. They're always on waivers every year, and it's just like musical chairs. They just keep rotating them around. He makes the play. It's a GBA, and the inning's over. That's also one of the parts of your World Series application. What's your defense like at short? You got Bud Harrelson, you got Larry Boa, you got Mark Belanger, you got Dave Concepcion on your team, you got Bergkamp and Ayers. Well, Maxwell doesn't have the bat, of course, but he's got the range, a 2E20. And that would look rather good in the postseason if the Twins get there. Bottom of the fourth, down 3-zip. It is going to be Lyman Bostock. 5-12, a walk. Playing from behind for one of the rare times in this series. Phil Roof, 68, pops to first. Jim Holt, 2-6. Double 1-7, base hit. They're on the corners. Your tie run is Eric Soderholm. 57's a K. And with 2 outs, it's Tony Oliva. 64 off Colburn, his third X. It's Bavacqua, a 3E25 third baseman. And he makes the defensive play. Critical there. And it stays 3-zip. Into the fifth. Daryl Thomas. 69, single on a 4, lines out. George Scott, 110, base hit. Maybe Singer's 6 column isn't so bad. He's got outs on 4 and 9 now. You look closely. It's just the walks in the 5 column that aren't desirable. Daryl Porter, 66, double 1-9, base hit. On the corners, let's just keep rolling 6s all day. John Briggs, 56, is one of those walks. Bases loaded for Lescano, a right-hander. 6 again, 66, single 1-8 on the right side. He rolls a 9. And Singer's hanging into this game by the skin of his teeth, folks. He's put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 men on in less than 5 innings. And he really needs to get Hovley out now. 34 is a fly ball to right. 3-0. Brewers, have they put themselves in a state of regret for not scoring more runs in a survival game? Remember, the Brewers are trying to go to the playoffs as well. I mean, you lose and go 2 under 500, you may have just short-circuited your whole season against the Twins in 4 consecutive games. I mean, they won game 1. They were thinking about winning this division. If you lose 4 straight, now you might not even make the playoffs at all. Bobby Darwin, in the bottom of the 5th. 42, pitcher. Dale Maxwell, 59, second. And back up top to Carew. 310 is a K. 5 innings in the books. It's 3-0 Brewers. We move to the top of the 6th, but first let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Okay. Bill Singer. We'll continue. See if you can keep dodging these landmines in the 6th. It's Tim Johnson. 1-7 is a K. It's Bavacqua. 64. Okay. Triple 1-7 is a triple. Back up top to Pat Kelly. Infield will come up. I want another run to score. 65. Triple 1-3 single. We got the 6. We understand the role of a 6. We got it. This little yellow thing right there. Yeah, we know where the 6 column is on Bill Singer. You've hit it 3 times every inning. A dozen times at least in this game. Runner at first, 1 out. Playing back for Daryl Thomas. 66. Double 1-9. Another double. Maybe we should just state the obvious and get them out of there. They're just going to roll 6s all day. And that'll be it for normally long-distance runner Jim Colburn. Long-distance runner Bill Singer. He is going to be pulled down 4 with runners at second and third and 1 out here. And Jim Crawford will come in, the long man, out of the Twin bullpen. In a vain attempt to keep this a reasonable game. Crawford, like I said, you'll probably see Albury too. They're not, An ERA of 4.50 for the Astros in 73. Also pitched for the Tigers in his career, I believe. Just not a lot. You know, there's just not a deep quantity population of left-handed pitchers in this era, of course. And then you take in the fact that we have 32 teams instead of 24 teams. It's almost mandatory that you've got to hunt down left-handed pitching first. And this is something that the Twins were unable to do as they fortified every other aspect of this roster. Crawford will come on in the 6th. Second and third, they'll bring the infield up and face George Scott. Here's the pitch. 49, single 1-2. Lines out. Big out there for Crawford. And you got Darryl Porter. And you know, Crawford's better against righties than lefties, so Porter will stay in the game and swing away. 38 is a K. Still got a ball game barely. 4-zip. They're within a grand slam. The bottom and the 6th are the Twins. It'll be Larry Heisel. 67 is a K. Big difference in starts for Colburn. He was knocked around last time. He's been outstanding today. Lyman Bostock, 67. Pops a second. So that's the story. We're just going to roll 6s most of the time today, which means Colburn is going to throw a shutout and Bill Singer is going to get knocked out. And that's basically the story of the day. Phil Roof, 35, is a strikeout plus an injury. So we lose the catcher. Bacabello, the backup, will go in his spot. We go to the 7th inning. Crawford continues. It's Johnny Briggs. 4-11 pitcher X. Crawford is an E20. And he makes the play. Lescano, 56. Short X. Maxville, 2E20. Makes the play. And with 2 outs, Hubley will stick around with his defense. 310 grounds to second base. It stays 4-zip. Is there any defense we could bring in? We could actually let's put Ollie Brown in Pat Kelly's spot. Put him in right. Put Lescano in left. Hubley can stay in center. Yount could take over at shortstop for Tim Johnson. And there we are as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. Okay, 4-0 game. Nice day for the Brewers. Stretch time here in Minnesota. We got a nice one for you, folks. We are enjoying, yeah, that's what we're enjoying. Charlie Rouse, the tenor sax, played with Monk in the 1960s. Beautiful recording, the LP of 1961 with some other stuff tacked on at the end that he recorded in the early 1980s with a different quartet. I think part of the Sphere. So that's what I was listening to earlier, which was a collaboration of musicians who also play with Monk and some other musicians of the early 80s. Great stuff here. When Sunny Gets Blue. Let's play this one. Turn this up a little bit for you, folks. Monk's guy. Monk's dude. Charlie Rouse. Back to the game. Bottom of the 7th. Colburn continues. It'll be Jim Holt. 47. Single 1-11. Base hit for Jim Holt. Soderholm. 2/8 a K. Tony Oliva. 210. Flies to right. And with 2 outs, it's Bobby Darwin. 43. First X. First baseman. George Scott's a 1E8. He's the best player on Milwaukee presently. He won't be there, of course, by the time of the late 70s during Harvey Wallbangers. George Scott and he will take places, at least in the short term. He makes the play. We go to the 8th. Crawford's done a nice job. Let's not wear him out. 5 5/3. Let's go to a righty now. Let's go to Tom Murphy in the 8th. Murphy, an outstanding, he was once the closer here. He actually was a Brewer in 74. 10-game winner with a 1.90 ERA and 123 innings. They had the luxury of Tom Murphy and Bill Campbell in the same Twin bullpen. Really good right-handed relievers. The lefties, as I said, not particularly good. Murphy will try and keep it a 4-run game in the 8th. He'll face Robin Yount. 2-4 short. Number 9 hitter Kurt Bavacqua. 58. Flies to right. And up top. Ollie Brown now at the top spot. 37 is a K. Nice inning there. Colburn will continue. He has given up 4 singles to this red-hot Twin offense. And again, in Strat-O-Matic, you hit a mulligan every once in a while. If you're the Twins, you don't want to panic and switch your lineup all around. And just concede that, you just can't hit 300 every game you play. There's a way to look at it. They're still up 3-1 in this series. We've seen this team come back. Earlier this year, they were down 10-0 or 9-0 to the Yankees, and they came back. They've got comebacks in the bottom of the 9th and in the bottom of the 10th inning. Jim Holt, particularly, has won some walk-off games for the Twins. So that's need to be prefaced here as we get to the final 6 outs of this thing. Dale Maxwell. He draws a lot of walks. Leads off here in the bottom of the 8th. 38 is a K. Back up top to Carew. 47 off Colburn, single 1 to 11, and he gets it. He'll stay put at first for Larry Heisel. 110's a base hit to center field, and Carew simply has to go station to station down 4 with that blazing speed. And this is getting interesting now. Jim Colburn's a starter 8. He will face Bostock, because I said he's better against lefties than righties. Here's the pitch. 2-4. Bostock misses the column, and it's the disastrous 4-6-3 double play. So by one roll, this is a 2-5 to 10. We got a ball game. 2-4. We also have the end of a ball game, it would seem, as Bostock gets into a 4-6-3 double play. Wow. We go to the 9th. Murphy will finish this one. Darryl Thomas. 2-7 to center. George Scott. 111, third. Darrell Porter, 42, fly ball to right field. Do the Brewers go to the closer? No, Colburn. 2 batters will be the point of weakness, then we'll take him out. He cannot lose the game, but he'll go for that complete game in his 316 innings. And he'll face, again, Phil Roof got hurt, so you don't have all those home runs. You got John Boccabella leading off. 1-5, and you're wondering, yep, that's a Phil Roof home run had he not gotten injured. Stars are aligning today for the visitors. 1-5 is a pop to second base. Number 5 hitter Jim Holt. 2-3 pops to short, also misses the column. And Eric Soderholm, 3-12, third. There's your game, and give the Brewers some credit there. They could have folded up, and they did not. Jim Colburn was the story today. Excellent start. He gets the win. Singer takes the loss. It will actually give the Brewers home field down 3-2 with games 6 and 7 in Milwaukee. Those matchups, by the way, and then I'll go to the break. Jerry Garvin will pitch game 6 for the Twins against Jim Slayton. And if it goes to 7 games, it'll be Burt Blyleven in the game 7 versus Bill Travers, a good left-handed pitcher for the Brewers. So stick around, we'll give you those results. All right, folks, here's the box score of the game you just saw, game number 5, where the Jim Colburn just was on fire. A 6-hit shutout, a walk of 9 strikeouts, battle of 6 columns. Colburn has the 4 column, and Singer, unfortunately, has 6 column. Singer, 5 1/3 innings, 10 hits, 4 runs. That was it. Really, just one big outburst. We've seen this in a lot with these teams. They give a big early inning and kind of ride the wave throughout the game. Happened a few times. Brewers get home field down 3-2 as we head back to Milwaukee. And this game 6 is a confounding sort of... Brewers win 10-1, and this is just a fold-up job by the Twins. Really excellent defense. Single off of 2 shortstop, Dale Maxwell. Single off 2 third baseman, Eric Soderholm. Single off of 2 shortstop, Dale Maxwell. Error on Maxwell. Error on Carew. Error on the catcher, Phil Roof. This is how the game went. It's like Brewers just catch every... If it's an X, forget it. The visiting team going to Milwaukee can't catch a cold. They can't catch anything hit to them. and the Brewers just pile up base runners, and it's over. That's that. Jim Slayton, 9 innings, 8 hits. They got a garbage run of the ninth, or it would have been back-to-back shutouts, and the Twins are playing, dare we say it, the worst baseball after playing the greatest baseball we've seen in the American League. And again, you just get dragged back in the muck in the American League. No team seems to want to run away and hide from anything. This series is all tied up. We're right back where we started from, 6 games in. The Brewers won Game 1 with twin miscues, Game 6 with twin miscues, and Game 5 on the road. And so what happens into Game 7? Well, this is one of the more entertaining games of the series. It is Burt Blyleven versus Bill Travers. Again, in the first inning, a triple, and then 2-base error, Larry Heisel. Whoop, another twin error. They can't get him out of their system. 1-0 Brewers. Fourth inning, Bobby Darwin breaks the schneid of the Twin offense with a solo homer. Haven't seen one of those in a while. It's 1-1. But in the bottom of the inning, a walk, a single, and a John Briggs triple sac fly. 4-1 Brewers, and now we're starting to think, wow, Brewers are going to win this thing, and this whole division is going to be a 3-way tie for first or whatever. It's just going to be even more of a mess. But hold on, the Twins actually start swinging for the fences. A walk in the 7th, and then a 2-out, 2-run homer by Steve Bry. It's a 4-3 game. Bill Travers, when he's not throwing the ball over the wall, has been outstanding. He goes out for the 8th as a starter 8. A single by Jim Holt, and it's number 9 hitter, John Boccabella. Sure, they could have lifted him to protect him from a loss, but he's a starter 8, and it's John Boccabella, for Pete's sakes. Nope, Boccabella rolls the homer on Travers' card, letting the horse out of the barn, or whatever you want to call that, like one batter too many. Twins get their 4th and 5th runs all off the long ball. Travers is pulled, and McMahon finishes the rest of that game without any more damage. But now the Brewers are down a run, and now it's up to Burt Blyleven, leaning on the ace. They tried to lean on Bill Singer. It didn't work. They're not going to use the bullpen. It's going to be Burt Blyleven. He's a starter 9. It's going to have to be his. It's his team. It's his game. You have to beat Blyleven in a complete game loss. They get 2 singles off of him, but he strikes out Ollie Brown in the 8th inning. They get a walk to Bavacqua in the 9th, but he gets Robin Yount to fly out, and Darryl Thomas, the final out of this game, 4-7 on Blyleven, single 1 in 19, and he rolls the 20 to end the game. These numbers all change when you do the scoring, by the way. See, if I put a number in a box, all that. Oh, this is not random anymore, right? Gotcha. Anyway, anywho. Final scores, 5-4. Twins win the game. So they pick up a game on the Brewers. Let's see what this looks like now in this division. So the Twins are, after those 2 dismal losses, they did end up winning the series. As a matter of fact, the Twins are 1 win short of winning every series for the All-Star break, and they have played 1 fewer game than every game through the All-Star break. The most you can play is 34. They've played 33. So they are playing things down to the wire, but normally winning them. They won a Game 7 against the White Sox. They won a Game 7 against the Brewers. They have a 2-game lead on the White Sox, and that means they're scheduled to meet in the first round of the tournament. The seedings aren't in yet. We still have more baseball to play. White Sox lose a tiebreaker to the Twins, who have a +1. So when you're 2 games back, with 7 games in that matchup, the White Sox would have to win 5 of the 7. Doable. Happens enough times. Difficult, particularly against a good Twin team, unless they get into one of these defensive funks for whatever reason, and offensive funks. But yeah, if the White Sox can beat the Twins in the postseason tournament 5 of 7 times, they'd be in first, and then they'd have to hold on to first, because it's reasonable to assume you could go back and forth between first and second place before the tournament ends and the playoff teams are seeded. So right now in the American League, the Twins are 5 over. Expos still have to play the Tigers at 5 over. And the Orioles at 5 over still have to play the Red Sox. Still a lot of baseball to play in the American League. But the Twins at least look pretty safe to get to the playoffs this year in a watered-down American League. Even as a wild card team, a few games over 500, the Twins are probably in a decent shape like that. And that's it today. Break up the Minnesota Twins. They almost collapsed against the Brewers. They came back in Game 7, won the series 4 games to 3. Thanks for checking this out, and we'll see you next time.